All right, welcome back to the channel. Let me say what's up to everybody, man. But before I do, let me start again with saying thank you to God for bringing me back another day. Hope that you had a wonderful day yourself, and that God brings you all the blessings or all of the good things. If you don't like the word blessing, good things that you could possibly ask for and hope for. Now. Welcome back. Let me say what's up to everybody. Then I'm going to light off on this bullshit because you know what we say when we told you so. We told you so. So my understanding was that Turki Al-Sheikh had already almost sold out the Allegiant Stadium for, what was that, Friday, September the 13th or something like that? September the 12th. When is it? Let me look at this calendar real fast. Let's see. Man, my calendar's not working. That's all right. I just go down to September. September 12th. September 12th. So it appears that that fight was not going to be on September 12th. And it's not going to be on September 13th. Or at least not at the site that they said. Because they said, Turki Al-Sheikh said, it's going to be either New York, LA, or Las Vegas. So can somebody help me and explain something to me? How in the world can fight tickets already be sold? Shout out to everybody in the chat. I would love for you guys to answer. What's up, Barbara D? What's up, Rich L? Sam Granderson. What's up, Sam? I ain't seen you in a minute, brother. Shout out to you, brother. Shout out to you. For real, shout out to you. Shout out to you. But I'll wait for you guys to come in. And also, hey, Big Kev, what up, man? Sack of shit, what up, man? How you feeling? So, if this fight changed, which it did, according to the people that said it sold out, does that mean Turki Al-Sheikh ran out of money? Just wondering. Does that mean Turki Al-Sheikh is running out of money since he can't get that stadium and he has to change his dates? I guess that means Turki Al-Sheikh is going broke, right? Turki Al-Sheikh must not have any money. Why? Because his fight venue got changed. It must be that he's broke. Has anybody got any idea why I would say that? What's up, Willie Hill? What's up, Miss Joette? Sorry I always called you Josette, Miss Joette. The PBC was going broke. So, yeah, Blue Blood, I don't know. Blue Blood said the fight was done, didn't he? But look, hey, man, he went to the tickets. Hold on a second. Let me see if they're still there. Hold on. Hey, guess what? You can still buy tickets to Canelo fight. It says seat mapping is coming soon. Look, watch. I'm going to show you guys something. Watch this. Look, that says TKO Boxing, Canelo versus Crawford. September 12th, Friday, Allegiant Stadium. It's got tickets on sale. $890, $869 for section 443, section 873, $873 for section 142, 442, 4042, 430, and 443. That's what it says right there. Oh, they said that the tickets were selling like hotcakes. But look, it looks like before there was a map there where they said the tickets were selling. I guess they decided to sell tickets before seats were available. They decided to sell tickets before they decided where the fight was. Now, let me tell you something. If that is not ass backwards at its finest. Hey, what's up, Phenomenal Show? Said these people full of shit. Plus, those tickets aren't official and were never were official. Ticketmaster does the ticketing for Allegiant. People got scammed. Y'all better stop letting Turki play with y'all. Y'all got scammed. Once again, you got scammed. Dude, the guy is a scam artist, man. God dang. You know I'm loving it though, right? I'm saying damn, but at the same time, I'm loving it. By the way, if anybody wants to support the channel today, please do so in Cash App. It would be greatly appreciated. Phenomenal Show, exactly. Then people got scammed. Ticketmaster does the tickets for that stadium. Oh, because this is StubHub. Woohoo! Because you're saying this is StubHub. They selling fake tickets, man. Terrell W, what's up, man? Hey, put a 1 in the chat if you bought a ticket. Put a 1 in the chat if you bought a ticket to that fight. They wanted to tell the story that the fight was sold out, and they wanted to tell you the story was sold out before they even got a venue. Let me repeat. These people tried to convince you that that fight was sold out before they even decided on a venue. Do you know how hilarious that is for them to decide? For them to decide to sell tickets before the actual venue is decided. Hey, Coach Chris said, Grand Rising, Fanon and Chad, questions for the youth. Why is it that so many boxers did not graduate from high school? Well, a lot of boxers don't graduate from high school because if they're trying to turn professional, they go right into it from, well, let me tell you at the beginning. First of all, there's a lot of seriously at-risk youth that are boxers. So it very well may be that they were going to drop out of high school anyway. So I really can't say that people are dropping out because of boxing. It may be that you just have a lot of people. That you probably just have a lot of people who would still be dropping out of school that are looking for boxing as a way out, you know? Andy Gill said things are subject to change. Yeah, like all the tickets that were sold were subject to change. I have to tell you, man, I would like to thank Blue Blood Sports TV for lying so much. Because I swear every morning I wake up and I read some shit and I'm like, okay, is this going to be a lie or is this going to be the truth? Is it going to be a lie or is it going to be the truth? Almost every time it's a lie. Almost every time. I would say 8 out of 10 times it's some bullshit. 8 out of 10. Coach Chris said, great answer. I was having trouble explaining it to them. Yeah. You first of all, you have a lot of at-risk youth, number one, who have a high likelihood of dropping out of school anyway. Add to it that these professional fighters wind up training like professionals when they're amateurs, so their grades are not going to be that good. Muhammad Ali is an example of that, man. Muhammad Ali had terrible grades, even though he was a brilliant man, could barely read because he was training like a professional athlete when he was 12 years old, from the time he was 12 years old all the way through high school, fighting on TV and everything. So I think it's also a matter of priorities. You know what I mean? What's up, man? Still waiting on your videos on Joel saying Haney should retire. Oscar's tweet about Z-Side, Canelo, Bud, and Canelo not being the biggest fight in boxing. Rolly going in on Canelo. Okay, I got you, bro. That's done deal. Actually, let me go ahead and take a picture of this. All right, so I got that. All right, I got it. So yeah, that's it. That's it. That's why they don't do it. That's my personal belief. Because I know a lot of people that didn't graduate from high school. Thank you so much, Kamal, for that $20 holler, brother. Thank you so much, bro. And I'm gonna get it. Joel saying, "Oh, Haney should retire." Gotcha, brother. Kentrell LaGrew said, "Fanon, if PBC and Golden Boy do business, what's that mean for that jive Turkey?" Honestly, man, it just means first of all, Turkey's going to be out of American boxing. That's going to happen. That's no way that he's going to be able to do that with Dana White. So I'll tell you what it means. Dana, first of all, it means that they're going to be able to put on fights away from Turkey, and they can put on profitable fights and make money on a per fight basis. Like you have, like people that got sense. You want your business to make money, and what first of all it means it's easier for Golden Boy to make money, and it's easier for PBC to make money. It's easier for Top Rank to make money because Top Rank and Top Rank and Golden Boy have always worked together well. And you add the PBC, it just makes very, very balanced and nice situation over on Amazon. It really does. And these fighters need to go ahead and start positioning themselves to go over there. They really do. Because you don't hear any of this type of complaint and stuff going on. They don't graduate from high school. They don't graduate high school for the same reason they ain't real street ninjas. They are in the gym. Hey, they don't graduate from high school for the same reason they ain't real street ninjas. They are in the gym. Yeah, I agreed. Agreed. They're in the gym. Because it can't be no part-time training and no shit like that. Those guys throwing them hands, bro. And honestly, man, I think that's the way. Hold on one second. Hold on a second. I don't see Willie Hill. Willie Hill. Hey, look, I'm looking for you, Willie Hill. I'm looking for you, bro. Gilbert Jimenez says, "Good morning, Martin, and everyone in the chat. Always good to be. Hey, man, what's up, man? Good to see you, man. Good to see you. Shout out to the 250 we got in the building so far, man. Y'all some hardcore boxing fans. Kamal Oz. Let me go ahead and get it, Kamal. Kamal Oz shared with me a tweet. Let me pull it up for you. All right, so Oscar De La Hoya says, so hear me out. Crawford will be 38 and Canelo is 35. Crawford hasn't fought in a year and got exposed by Madmarov, in my opinion. Canelo has been getting exposed for the past few years. Can anyone please explain to me how this is the biggest fight in boxing? The answer to that one would be, it's not the biggest fight in boxing. It absolutely is not the biggest fight in boxing. The biggest fight in boxing is between, and I love what Rolly Romero said. Rolly Romero said, what is it? Watch the video I did. Who is this? Willie Will better be chilling out. Hold on now. I don't know where this Willie Will is. I'm not seeing him. Hey, can you do me a favor and block this Willie Hill dude? Because I can't see him. If the next comment, if I don't see Willie Hill, put your comment in the comment section. The fight is not canceled. Who said the fight was canceled? Did I say the fight was canceled? The fight says Terence Crawford fight postponed after a huge lie. Did somebody say that? I don't remember saying that. Even though I will put a question mark after it. Is it canceled? Because who knows? They may not have the fight at all. Who has money? They want to lose $300 million on that fight. You think Dana White is in some hurry to lose $300 million on that fight? Because that's how much money he's going to lose if he has $200 million to Canelo and $100 million to Terence Crawford. I doubt very much he even wants to have that fight. So I'll wait to see if the fight gets made at all with that type of money. You know what I'm saying? The biggest fight in boxing would have been Benavidez Canelo. Yeah, it is. Benavidez Canelo. Man, who? Man, that's crazy. Who would be the biggest fight in boxing? It's probably that. It's probably that. What up, down? What up, left down, Gaither? Let me put these chats in it. Let me put these links in this chat, man. Thank y'all for y'all support. And by the way, please, if you do support today, please support in the Cash App. It would be greatly, greatly, greatly appreciated today. Thank you very much. But can we talk this? Can we chop this up as a lie told? Hey, man, Barbara Davis said, wish you was more. Thank you, Barbara Davis. Thank you for that support. Appreciate you, Barbara D. Oh, that's cool. I appreciate you so much. Thank you. Appreciate you. Andy Gill said, Dana can't afford to lose any money with all the lawsuits he's dealing with. No, nobody's going to want to lose $200 million. Nobody's going to want to do that. And then what are you going to do? You're going to put on top of it like some concert on top of it that's going to make them lose more money. Just emailed you the Raleigh videos again. Thank you, Kamal. Got you. I'm going to watch them today. I'm for real. Plus, look, watch. You know he's going to want like Sierra or somebody. They're going to want Sierra to perform a concert ahead of time or who? Kendrick Lamar. So give Kendrick Lamar another cool $10 million to do a concert, a personal concert in Times Square for Turki Al-Sheikh so he can hold hands with Kendrick Lamar. I think that would be an excellent show. Coach Chris said, by biggest fight, what is the criteria? Most wanted, highest gross, etc. I would say the biggest fight would be the one that would gross the most revenue. Because grossing the most revenue from sources from the fans is indicative of how much demand there is for the fight. If you don't have any demand for the fight, then it's not a big fight. That's why I'm arguing that, yes, Dmitry Bivol versus Arthur Beterbiev was a fight that I wanted to see, but I wouldn't call it a big fight. I call it a fight that is a good fight and a fight that I wanted to see, but I would definitely not just be calling that some great fight. I don't believe that it is. Canelo versus Jake Paul. Yeah, Coach Chris says Canelo versus Jake Paul. Yeah, that might be it. That really might be it. Is Canelo versus Jake Paul. Let me say something for a second, Coach Chris. I have to again say thank you to Kamal. And I'm glad Kamal comes up here because Kamal on a regular basis drops gems. Sometimes they're a little bit unpleasant for me to hear. But if I hear them, I'm still not going to argue with them because they're like they're really sound arguments, and the basic structure of the argument is always good. One of the arguments that he had made was in support of Jake Paul, man. And he said that Jake Paul was good for boxing a long time ago when I was very against Jake Paul being in boxing. But after having seen Turki Al-Sheikh in boxing, give me Jake Paul. Please give me Jake Paul any day of the week, because I know that if Jake Paul says a fight is going to be on and it's going to cost a certain amount of money, I rest assured that that fight is going to actually cost the amount of money that Jake Paul says it's going to cost. Also, if he starts selling tickets to a venue and it's listed on a venue, guess what? Guess what? That is where the fight is going to be. We don't have to worry about whether or not the fight is going to be there or not. We don't have to wonder whether or not the fight is going to cost more or not. And if you were dumb enough to buy those tickets to that Allegiant Stadium, hey, man, I hope you get your money back. I wonder how they managed to sell all of those tickets for a fight. Think about this for a second. They managed to sell. It looked like that stadium was sold out when I went to that website yesterday. It looked like the fight was sold out. And I'm like, I don't even remember anybody telling me that the fight was going on sale. Love Down Gaither said, Fanon, if they're doing hypothetical fights, the biggest fight in boxing will be Tank versus Monster. I was going to say Tank versus Monster, but I'm not sure. I think because because Monster in a way is not really proven to be a great fighter. That's just not, he has not proven that. To be a fighter that's a really big draw. However, Jake Paul has already been in several really big fights, and Canelo Alvarez has already been in really big fights. And I think the curiosity factor of it would make it a huge fight between Canelo and Jake Paul. Also, Jake Paul and Gervonta would have been a huge fight as well. Fanon. The same way Boots' fight was almost sold out until the week of the fight. Yeah, I didn't see that, but I wouldn't doubt it. Because these guys lie a lot, man. Like, man, look, bro. These guys lie so much. They lie so much that anything that they say, you have to assume is a lie. I'm telling you, anything they tell you, you have got to assume that what they're telling you is a lie until proven otherwise. Can you believe it? The phenomenal Noop. Can you believe that when the day that they said, okay, thank you, Kamal, the day that these people say, Blue Blood said, I saw it in the title of his video, that the fight was almost sold out. I don't remember if his video title said that or not. And trust me, I don't have the stomach to watch it. However, I only looked after people told me that it was sold. And then I went to the website, looked up the tickets, and it looked like it was all almost sold out. How much money do you think that they spent to pull that charade off? Question. How much do you think they paid in order to pull that charade off? To get a website to list a fight that isn't even agreed to be at the stadium and to sell that many tickets. Man, if that don't look like somebody scrubbed a pot of money, I don't know what does. But guess what? You jumped the gun because Dana White said, I hate that idea. So, I mean, for real, think about what they think about it. That shit got on a website. It got on a website. It's listed. The tickets are listed for sale right now on a website, even though we know that they haven't decided what city it's in. I'm telling you, you cannot believe anything these people say, man. I don't care how much money they say they're paying. I don't believe it. I don't care, bro. They lied too much. Phenomenal Noob said they lied too much. But I peeped it from the start with their dumbasses announcing the fight for a Friday. You did. You called that shit dead on the head, bro. And Barbara D said, I saw the small portion lying enough to hear the BS. Oh, yeah, it's tough. I can't listen. Melvin, hey man, thank you, Melvin, for the $5 holler, brother. Thank you so much, bro. Man, you know how crazy that is. Do you have any idea how diabolical that is? Do you not, dude? They could. How much more shit are they planning in the media? If you can plant that shit, if you can plant that, what else can you plant? What else can you lie about? If you can tell a lie and you have enough money to get that many tickets sold on a fake date on a different website, like you sold all these tickets to Allegiant Stadium and the fight is not even agreed to for that date. So what can you do? You means you can change the date if you want to, but yet the tickets are already sold. Oh, thank you. You new to this? Oh, thank you, Melvin. Appreciate you, brother. I appreciate you, man. That Cash App is big. Thank you, bro. Big, hey, Big Melvin with the $10 holler in the Cash App, brother. Thank you so much for your support today, man. I can't tell you how much I appreciate that, man. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. New to it. Okay, thank you, brother. Hey, thank you, Melvin. Can I get some applause for Melvin for the $10 and Barbara for the $10 Cash Apps? Thank you so much. I would like for you to contemplate that. Just think for a second. There are tickets sold on the website on StubHub. There are tickets available for this fight on StubHub for Allegiant Stadium in Las Vegas on Friday, September 12th. Oh, Earns. Yeah, thank you so much. I'm sorry. Earns. Thank you. All right, I fixed it. Thank you. Man, Jeep Red Boy in the building. Thank you, bro. Thank you so much for that support, man. Man, I'm trying to get rid of this. Oh. Still spelled it wrong. Hold on one second. All right, I got it. I fixed it. Give me 1 second. I'm going to get back to that. Jeep Red Boy with the huge support with the $20 holler, brother. Thank you so much. Doesn't even say anything, man. I'll go off Fahim. Does Bud retire if he doesn't get the Canelo fight? No, he does not retire. Oh, dude. Blue Blood keeps putting in his video titles, truth. You know you finna be lied to. I like his shows and especially his videos, he be on point. Okay, that's not for me. Hey, what up, Kamal? Yeah, I hope we get Errol Spence Jr. again to control before he retires. I do, but let me put the link on here, man. Let me put the link. There, Knight Rider said it's like a low budget horror film. I can't watch it. Man, it's tough. It's tough. But does Bud retire? No, I don't think he retires because he needs some money. He's got to get paid. You know what I'm saying? He's going to go get some money against somebody else is what's going to happen. Because seriously, Turki Al-Sheikh will bait and switch. He'll definitely bait and switch. He'll definitely flip out like, nah, I changed my mind. I don't want that anymore. You know, but seriously, man, to have Oscar De La Hoya rip that fight, and I agree, man. I don't think that fight is what people say that fight is. I really don't. Oh, thank you, Bird 101 in the building in the Cash App, dog. Thank you so much, man. Bird 1, I already know Bird 101 with the $5 holler, brother. Hold on one second, man. Let me get that. Thank you, bro. Thank you, Bird 101. Bird 101 with the $5 holler, dog. Thank you so much for the $5 holler, brother. Appreciate you so much, man. With the big support. With the hey, by the way, he dropped the personalized message. Thank you, bro. Charles Ralph Chestnut says, Fanon, I'd love to see the Spence Charlo. That fight would be great. You know the fight I want to see? I want to see Errol Spence versus Keith Thurman. Hey, what's up, Jameson? Childress, what's up? That's what I want to see. I don't want to see, before I would see Jermell Charlo and Terence and Errol, which I love too. I think there's a great backstory with that. I think that there's a absolutely fabulous backstory with that. So I would love to see it. But I want to see him fight Keith Thurman for a title. I actually think these guys may be working that out, man, because you have Xander Zayas, who's officially going to get a shot at the WBO title. Then you've got Xander Zayas and Sebastian Fundora fighting. If Tim Tszyu wins, and I have to tell you, bro, I'm kind of rooting for Tim Tszyu in that fight because I think Tim Tszyu would have beat him the first time if it wasn't for that cut on his head. So we'll see what happens with Tim Tszyu in the next fight. But I think I'm happy that Tim Tszyu is getting a championship shot. So if Tim Tszyu is able to beat Sebastian Fundora, I would love to see Errol Spence fight Tim Tszyu for a title at 154 pounds. But I would love to see Keith Thurman and Errol Spence fight after that, or I would love to see Keith Thurman and Errol Spence Jr. fight before that. If I can't get that, I would love to see Jermell fight Keith Thurman. I think that would be a fantastic fight too. Jermell and Keith Thurman. And if they put that WBA on the line, that would be fantastic. I think it would be a tremendous matchup in styles too. And I'm telling you, I think Keith Thurman is a liver dog against Jermell Charlo than you may think. But anyway, that's at very least a very interesting matchup and a good night of fights. So I could definitely see Errol Spence getting the title shot at 154 pounds. And then who are the other champions at 154? You have Terence, who's the WBA champion still. I don't know if he's dropped it or not, but if they have, that means the WBA is still open. And then what is the IBF? Is that Bakrat Murtazaliev or somebody like that? But anyway, that whoever that guy is, I think it's Murtazaliev. Hold on one second. Let me see. Yeah, Bakram Murtazaliev. Yeah, it's Bakram Murtazaliev. Hey, Jameson, thank you, sir. He said, body that interview, bro. I got one more. Oh, congratulations. Hey, man. $10 holler from my guy, Jameson Children said, body that interview, bro. Got one more. Oh, that's beautiful, man. That's beautiful, brother. Hey, did the questions help? The WBC is Fundora. Thank you. The WBC is Fundora. The IBF is Murtazaliev. The WBA is Terence Crawford. And I think Jermell has the right to go back and fight for the super title. Honestly, man, I would love to see Keith Thurman versus I would love to see. Yes, they did. Oh, that's what's up. Yeah. Hey, man, I'm glad an old man can still be in some help, dog. So I'm glad an old man can be in some help. Gotta love it, bro. Gotta love it. All right, let me put the link in the chat, man. See if y'all want to chop it up with a kid this morning, man. All right, there you go. Bud is moving to 168. He should be stripped like Jamal was. Boxing is filthy. I think he's already dropped the title, though. I think he's relinquished his title. Let me see, Terence. No. I don't see that it drops it. That he vacates it. Yeah, I don't see that he vacates it. So Terence Crawford is still the WBA champion as far as I know. Bud beating Canelo for sure way too fast for Canelo. I mean, maybe, but look, here's the thing. If you're predicting it's that easy a fight for Terence Crawford, then Terence Crawford doesn't need to have the fight. Terence Crawford needs to fight David Benavidez. You know? It's that simple. If you really think Terence Crawford is that good that he's going to whoop Canelo, then that tells you it's not that big a fight. Because it's like, I don't know, Canelo looks really bad. You know? Canelo ain't looking like no killer, man. That's why I agree with what Oscar De La Hoya said. Man, I cannot believe that I've turned into an Oscar De La Hoya fan. Just tells you can overcome anything in life. If with some honesty and some straightforwardness, man, you can recover in life from a lot of stuff. Because, man, I swear, I wasn't done with Oscar, but I was kind of done with Oscar. I always knew that Oscar really knew his boxing. And so that's the one thing about Oscar you know for sure. Even if he's saying some garbage, you know it's garbage he's saying, because similar to Tim Bradley, they both very, very, they know the sport very, very well. They know the sport very, very, very well. Very well. But both these dudes, or at least Oscar De La Hoya, I want to talk about, does Devin Haney really need to retire? On to the point that Kamal Oz made about Joel Diaz. I think, does Devin need to retire? I'll tell you this. If Devin cannot fight in his next fight, then Devin probably needs to retire. Because Devin looks very scary. He looked very shaky and scary. Bud don't want that Benavidez smoke. No, he doesn't want that Benavidez smoke, which is why I'm telling you that it doesn't matter if he gets undisputed. Doesn't matter. You know what I mean? Because you're not fighting the best guy in the division. You know? Knight Rider says he looks mentally shot. I mean, he's got to get his dad out of the corner. For me, the thing that Devin Haney needs to do above all other things is he needs to get his father out of the corner. Because if his father is not allowing him to do the things in the fight that his trainer is teaching him to do in the fight, then, hey, man, you know what you need to do? You need to get somebody in the fight. You need to get somebody in the corner that is going to do something better. And I always see that Devin brings somebody else on, right? Like he brought in Mickey Bay. He brought in Floyd Mayweather Sr. He brought in Shane Mosley. Like, you're going to actually have somebody new in your corner during the fight to give you good, clear instructions in the fight, you know, and to get you in the game plan and to be able to show you what openings there are that are there according to the game plan. Because Shane Mosley's right. Devin Haney won that fight, but Devin Haney lost that fight. He lost that fight in the public eye. And, now it's the time, bro, because how long has it been since we got a knockout? When is that? How many years has it been since Devin Haney's gotten a knockout? Like, can you feed? Like, I would say you should have fed him, Jason, the Padley guy. Josh Padley. They should have fed him Josh Padley, somebody like that, and then put somebody new in his corner and let him get a couple fights like that. But don't worry, man. We'll see what happens when when he gets fed to the Wolves for the next fight. Because I don't think that Ryan Garcia is going to be fighting on that Turki Al-Sheikh card next. It's been 6 years. 6 years since he's got a knockout, and he's got a knockdown, about 2 years ago? About a year and a half ago, he got a knockdown. So, no, man, I don't know if he needs to retire. I think he needs a new trainer. For sure. He needs a new trainer. Yeah, pillow-fisted, but hey, man, he said that Devin Haney said that Shane Mosley was showing him how to get a knockout. But then Shane Mosley said he didn't implement anything that I taught him because his father wouldn't let him implement what I taught him. Ralph Chestnut said, I like him as a fighter, but Fanon, really, I agree. He needs help, a whole new management team, but I agree his mental status is probably not recovered from Garcia. Yeah, I think you're probably right, Ralph Chestnut. He probably doesn't have all of his screws in there tight. You know what I mean? But I don't think he needs to retire. I think he needs a new trainer first. All the way out new trainer. Like, hey, Dad, I'll see you at the press conference, and I will see you after the fight. And give your dad a nice front row seat to your next fight. And then bring in a guy and let that guy be your trainer. And let him actually do the training. Because Devin's father may not believe in him anymore. After seeing his son spilt like that all over the ring, he may say, hey, man, just stay out of the way. Stay out of the way of that. He's going to hit you, trying to hit you with that left hook. Stay out of the way. Stay out of the way. Stay out of the way. And he stayed out of the way all the way till they want to implement a new rule. I'm going to call it the Devin Haney rule. The no-run rule. We'll call that the honorary Devin Haney move. Devin Haney. That's the honorary Devin Haney. That's the honorary Devin Haney rule. The no-run rule. Actually, dog, even though it's coming from Turki Al-Sheikh's mouthpieces, I did a video about it, and I'm like, the downside of it is how it's going to be used. It's going to be used to screw over black fighters. So I like the letter of it, I think I'm okay with. Like, even though I haven't seen anything written down, I would love to hear what the rule is actually written down, which is why I tell you right now, these people shouldn't be talking about rules because they don't know how to write one. You know what I'm saying? Rule 4.25, Devin 4.25 rule, exactly. Funny. Is it Devin Stevenson or Shakur Haney? I don't know, man. Look, bro, I have to agree, though. We can't see that anymore. But the problem isn't that rule. Because guess what? You're never going to stop a fight because a guy didn't engage enough. You'll get a warning and say, hey, man, you're running around too much. You'll never, ever get somebody disqualified for that. So, because if you do, dog, you're going to get hit with a lawsuit. Because what is that? Because you got to give me a rule that I understand. What does that mean to engage? What does that mean? Yeah, Devin's the new running man. You have to put it on Devin because Shakur didn't fight that weekend. Shakur didn't set the rule. It's either Shakur, you either got to call it the Devin rule or you got to call it the William Skull rule. Which one is it? Is it Devin or is it William Skull? Hey, Hitman Bronco said the Forrest Gump rule. Hey, because Dudes were breaking out, bro. I ain't gonna lie, they were breaking out, dog. Take away a portion of their purse. Hey, man, they could put. Hey, they could. Hey, you could. You know, you could section off a piece of that. I hate how BFTB gives Devin so much praise. Hey, man, it's all right. We all need support, man. We all need support. Devin needs support. I don't mind it. I haven't been to BFT's channel in a while. You know, Skull new to the big stage. Devin ain't. Yeah, I agree. I agree. Hold on one second. Yeah, it's pretty good, man. Almost to the goal, man. Thank y'all for helping me out today on the super chats, and thank you to everybody that supports in the Cash App. Cash App is preferred today. Phoenix says, Fahim Sator says, stop blaming black men and blame those flat-footed Latinos who don't even try to cut the ring off. No joke, man. That's look, it goes both ways. I understand that 100%. It goes both ways. But yeah, anyway, I don't support the rule because of who's coming up with the rule. I'm going to tell you, because I think they're going to try to implement that in a way that is not going to be good for American black fighters. And it's going to be used to try to trump up some steroided up, some juiced up ass UK fighter. That's right. That's what I said, Joey. I said it's going to be used to prop up some juiced up UK fighters. Because, you know, you have to stand in there and trade with them. You have to trade with them. Put it in the rule book. They have to trade, man. You don't have to. Engaging doesn't mean trading, does it? Again, what does engaging mean? I would love to hear this definition. I would love to hear the rule, how that works, bro. How many black Americans fight the way I don't know, not a lot. Robert Soto said, Robin Soto, shout out to Puerto Rico, man. My brother, Puerto Rico. Bill Haney is Devin's biggest hype man, but he shouldn't get a new he should get a new training team like Mayweather or a team they comfortable with. I agree 100%. I agree 150 million %, bro. Get a new team before you retire, man. Get a new team before you retire. For sure. I agree 100% with that. Thank you, Robin Soto. And shout out to Puerto Rico, man. Shout out to Puerto Rico. Puerto Rico ain't going to have a lot of fighters. But my guy says, how many black American fighters fight the way Devin and Skull did? Not a lot. See, the people that get accused of that will actually engage in punch, and they will throw. If you're punching, they will punch in between their punches. They will. But if you can't cut off the ring and make them have to throw punches, you know. But I got to tell you, Devin, that was a little skittish. Like, that was real skittish. And he doesn't have a broken hand. He can't use a broken hand as an excuse, man. He can't. Here's a link, though, for anybody that want to chop it up with me, man. That's what I'm saying. You can't use that as an excuse. Hey, can somebody tell me something, though? Has Terence Crawford said anything about Turki, about Teofimo Lopez? Can somebody put one in the chat if you've heard Terence Crawford, if he responded to Teofimo Lopez or not? I haven't heard that he does, and I don't really go by his Twitter page a lot. But can somebody tell me if he slapped Teofimo Lopez yet? I was wondering if he has slapped Teofimo Lopez yet. Because, you know, time is ticking, bro. Time is ticking. When's the next big Turki Al-Sheikh card? Is that September? Or his fight? Is that his fight? He should be slapping Teofimo Lopez in the way into his fight. Unless there's some other fight card that I don't know about. But can you put a 1 in the chat if you've seen that Terence Crawford has slapped Teofimo Lopez? Because I swear to God, I know he has. I know I've heard a lot of outrage about what Teofimo Lopez did. I'm just wondering, Fahim Sectora said he responded with love and to his Mexican friends. Hugo Alvarez said, remember he checked him already? No, he did not check him because Teofimo Lopez called him ligger, ligger, ligger. Called him ligger, ligger, ligger. They called him ligger, ligger, ligger. He didn't check him. What do you mean he checked him? What do you mean he checked him? He checked him before he called him that? Oh, okay. He checked him already? Boy. What's your take on Turki telling Skull to take it easy on Canelo before the fight? What do I take of it? Nothing. I don't take anything of it. Nothing. There's nothing I can really say. POI Pounder Northwest. Nothing I can really say. Why was Turki holding his hand and not Canelo, who was standing on the other side? Because that's his boy. Because that's his boy. That's why. Because that's his boy. He held his hand because that's his boy. That's his fighter. In clear violation of the Muhammad Ali Act, that's his fighter. In clear violation. I heard Bill trying to justify it or by pointing out that Canelo threw less. Hey, man. Well, you're number 2. You're the youngest fighter ever to throw that few punches. How about that? Family account. If Bill Haney said to me, well, that actually is the common way that people, what do you call that? What do you call that? Is it a deflection? Yeah, it's a deflection. It's a way to deflect. And it's a common way that people use to deflect when you got them dead to rights. So you say Devin Haney put on the most ridiculously bad performance I've ever seen. And then you respond with, no, Canelo's worse. Canelo threw less punches. See? All that means is you're bad and Canelo Alvarez was worse. But that doesn't mean that, because the reason Canelo Alvarez threw less punches was because of how William Skull fought. The reason you threw fewer punches is because of how you fought. So you are the but-for cause of the punches not being thrown in the fight between Devin Haney and Jose Ramirez. And that fight being not having many punches is on Devin. The fight with William Skull and Canelo is on William Skull. So if you want to say that William Skull threw less punches, okay, cool. So you're comparing yourself to William Skull in the performance of William Skull. Nobody wants to see William Skull fight again either. I'm telling you. Just like nobody really wants to see Karen Kukadashian fight again. And somebody had to tell Karen Kukadashian, look, man, I'm not going to put you on this card again if you fight like that. Now, you don't need a rule. All you need is a promoter that says after the fight, if you fight like that again, I'm never putting you on another card. Or I hate to tell you this, buddy, I'm not putting you on the next card because you didn't fight. You just took my money. That's your no run rule. Have a promoter tell you flat out that I'm not going to put you on another card. That's what you need to do. Don't give Devin Haney another fight. And then guess what? You're going to see Devin Haney fight again when he's allowed to get on another fight card. You don't need these rules and stuff in order to prevent that. What you need is the promoter to say, forget you. I'm not doing it. But guess what? That means the promoter can't charge me $90 for that garbage. What up, Phoenix?
And wouldn't that be something for the Devin Haney era if they had a rule like that for now?
I think it would be hilarious.
And it's funny, every time they talk about this era, never nothing good. So how you doing today, man?
Man, I'm well. I can't complain, man. You know, I'm tripping, man. You want to hear something funny?
Oh, yeah,
I got the police pulled me over last Friday, and before they pulled me off, there was like a ton of like squad cars that like flew by me, right? But then roughly 3 minutes later, one of these cop cars pulled me over. Man, they told me that it was for something related to a trespass and asked me if I didn't go back on some property. Guess what? People were murdered there, man. People were murdered there. Like the squad cars weren't there just to pull me. They pulled me over later, but they pulled me because some people got killed. And I'm like, man, I had all my whereabouts, all my alibis together, man. But now in retrospect, it was kind of a scary situation, man. Like, cause I was like, why would you have like 4 squad cars just for me picking up some dead birds in front of a bar? But then winds up, a couple people got clipped. And man, I think they may have thought I had something to do with it, but I hadn't. But I had my alibi together. So wow. Anyway, so man, I got a little bit tripped out about that yesterday. But other than that, I'm good.
Man, see, that's the one. That's the one thing in mind. I forget who it was that said it. It's never a good day to be black. So you never know
Never.
what type of things you're gonna run into. Like, man, and it's scary. People don't realize it. Like, man, see, because of that, we got to be more situationally aware. You can't just be walking around, not paying attention to nothing. Like even like you said, something as simple as that. You was picking up some dead birds, like something that you wouldn't even think is that big of a deal. And it's like, nah, just because you was in the area, and man, you get caught up.
Yeah, man. Thank God for good lawyers, bro. And thank God for my mother and father always knowing and my wife always knowing exactly where I am.
Oh
So,
yeah, oh yeah. Hey, that's why I
yeah,
keep. That's the only reason I keep the location on my phone turned on, so I can keep that
exactly.
timeline, so I can say, hey, it'll map out everywhere I've been for the day, whether I was walking, driving, all that. So I'm like,
Exactly.
nah, officer. 'Cause, man, I had that happen when I had stopped to pick up some breakfast. I seen like this other dude that was up in there, had a mask on and everything, grabbed something, grabbed like he had a bag of shit, just ran up out the spot, and then like I'm on lunch at work, and I get pulled over like as soon as I pull out the parking lot, and then there's like, hey, yeah, was you at this spot this morning? Like, did you know this individual? I'm like, the fuck? So yeah, man, like they done looked on the security cameras, found my license plate, tracked me to the office building, all that. I'm like, shit, man.
Yes, sir. They'll get you, man. Gotta be
Yep.
careful. Like Rick Tim says, scary situation indeed. Because we know how black folk, especially black men, receive unjust charges and sentences be inflated. Yeah, man. Again, I put it on Twitter, man. Thank you to the policeman to let me go. Because again, man,
Oh,
yeah.
that
Yeah.
reminds me. I
What's that?
forget what state it was in. There was this guy recently. People in the chat probably know the story. Like they had some people that was like kicking on his door and everything in the middle of the night, like 3 in the morning, right? Like
Yeah.
and they only found out about it because like I guess his neighbor had like some surveillance on their security camera that turned over. But like it showed them people like ringing his doorbell, went around to the back of the house, kicking on the door, kicking on the garage. And 3 in the morning, somebody doing that to your house is like, okay, I'm not expecting no company. Lots of people trying to kick my door in. So he shot at him. But then he's the one getting charged with the felony. Black man, of course. He's the one
Yeah.
saying, so I'm like, man, like it's crazy. It's crazy. But yeah, back to this boxing though. Man, that no running rule. We gonna have to call it like the anti Mayweather rule or something. Because
You gotta call it the Haney rule, bro. Gotta call it the Haney rule.
nah, yeah. Don't want to give them that much credit because I mean, anything that would cause Bill to say that they are changing boxing and revolutionizing it, even though all they doing is adding more bullshit. Now I don't want him to keep on talking. Like man, the fact that he was out there with Ariel Hawani, giving that man, I love Devin's performance. Man, if you don't get out of here with that, and then he about to do another interview on Cigar Talk. I'm like, man, they need to stop letting this man talk. Like, cause like I said it before. Like, the more that the Haneys talk, the more that they expose themselves without even knowing it. Like, the best way I could describe it, I seen a video recently of like this goat. trying to throw itself in the fireplace and cook itself.
What?
Yeah, it's like this goat is in the house. He tried to throw himself in the fireplace and cook himself. And the dude ran up, grabbed it by the leg, and pull it out. And then the goat tried to run up in the fire like 3 more times. I'm like, that's exactly what Bill be doing every time he talk. He keep cooking himself, and people keep trying to like give him an out, but he keep jumping back in the fire. He's not helping himself. And Devin, he ain't doing no better because he keep on going along with it. That's the crazy part. This running rule though, I'm like, man, there's a diff. Like I was saying the other day, like there's a difference between defense and then like just not making it an option. Like to have good defense, you have to actually be defending against something. And if there's no punches, then what are you defending against? You know what I mean? And then at the same
Yeah.
time, it's like that don't mean that fighters need to be over there, taking punches to the face. But it does prove my point about how a lot of these guys being held for the technical ability don't really have great defense. Because look at Floyd Mayweather, look at Andre Ward, look at Bernard Hopkins, Roy Jones, and all them other guys who could stand right in front of you. Pernell Whitaker. These guys are standing right in front of you, literally almost stepping on your front foot, and they dodging and parrying punches right there in your face. Another one, Mark. You remember Mark Too Sharp Johnson? He used to do like this
Hell
little
yeah.
dance. Yeah.
From
So
DC. From DC. Mark
yeah,
from DC. Yeah.
yeah. So guys like that, be dancing in your face and making you miss and everything at close range when you still within arm's reach. Cause my dad, he always said, like, watching Floyd Mayweather, he's like, man, can you imagine how frustrated that those guys must feel that they're standing right there within arm's reach and missing them, and they seeing him look at their punches fly back past his face? Like, man, you watching him watch your punches miss and looking you in the eye and then punching you in the face when you right there. Like, that has to be the most frustrating thing. But it goes to show, like I said, like a lot of people don't know how to cut the ring off. And even then, a lot of people held as defensive masters right now don't really have that kind of defense, because it's not really like they slipping punches, blocking or parrying them. They're just staying completely out the way to where it don't matter because punches ain't being thrown. So me personally, I can't look at that and compare that to something like these other guys was doing. Like I said, Floyd, Mark Johnson, Pernell Whitaker, and them. I can't compare just moving out the way and staying completely out the way and say that's good defense, that's high IQ, because to me, it kind of feel like disrespectful to the effort those other guys put in, and they were defensive wizards. I can't say that them things are the same. I can't at all. And it's crazy for me to hear so many people try to compare it. So, oh well, Floyd was doing it. Or nobody said nothing about Andre Ward. What about Bernard Hopkins? It's like, are y'all serious right now? Like, come on. But yeah, it's on both the fighters and the ones they fighting. It's like, hey, you fighting these slow, flat-footed dudes, people who ain't got your hand speed, people who you say ain't on your level. Okay, go ahead and Arturo Gotti their ass. Do it. Get them up out there so we don't have to watch, the whole 45 minutes of this sitting between each 3 minute of the 12 round and each minute break, watching this full 45 minutes of you just running around the ring instead of getting this dude the hell up out of there so we can go on about our business. Like, that's the thing. Like, it's infuriating. It's infuriating because it's like you hear so much about these guys and you want to see them show what people is talking about, but then they're not showing nothing. They never step it into another gear. I remember you would say, I think it was last week, that with a lot of these great fighters, you can tell when they're about to turn it up a notch because they'll get like this certain look about them, and then you'll see that it's like a switch flips, and then go into that next gear. Like Muhammad Ali, like he was just fighting, forming, cruising, having an easy time, but then he knew it was go time, and then came out and got forming up out of there, like it was nothing, and he was smooth and relaxed the whole time. But like, you'll see with Mayweather, like when he started walking down Canelo out of nowhere, and Canelo couldn't throw no punches at him for like a minute straight, and got backed into the corner, eating them uppercuts and everything. And it's like, dang, Floyd is just sitting there teeing off on Canelo, and Canelo couldn't do nothing. You see that from elite fighters when they get to a certain point where it's like, okay, let me go ahead and step on this gas and like really show them. So these guys like Devin, he ain't do that. He ain't do that. He never got out of first gear. And let's see the same thing with Shakur Stevenson because he just stayed the same the whole fight. He don't really get up out the first gear. Uh, and even Tiafimo, even though he got the talents that he got, he stayed in that same gear the whole time. Even during the Lomachenko fight, he stayed in that same gear. It was enough, and he did. Like I would say, maybe round 12 he turned it up because he landed what was it 50 punches? They said he landed 50 something. He said he landed in round 12 against Lomachenko. So I mean, there's things like that. Even Lomachenko that ain't even really a power puncher. Look what he did to George Kambosos, and he was standing right in front of him the whole night and limited his punch output to lower than what happened with Shakur and Edwin De Los Santos while standing in front of the guy and getting the stoppage. So it's things like that for me where I'm looking at a lot of fighters that people say is elite and people say is really up there, but then they don't have that next gear to go to. And then they're talking about the defense, but we don't really see anything from the defense other than they just stay out the way. For me, it's like, okay, come on. Like how much y'all gonna keep on saying this is it? How long y'all gonna keep on doing that instead of being real about it? It don't matter if it's your favorite fighter. Like, okay, it's your favorite fighter. Like me, one of my favorite fighters is Gabriel Rosado. Yeah, he ain't had the career that I hoped he would have. And it's not like he got a lot of big victories out there, and people look at him as a journeyman now. But dude brought the fight every time. He ended up lay down, you know. No matter how much his face was cut up and busted and looking like hamburger meat, he was still going up in there, even against Golovkin, having his eyelid hanging 2/3 of the way off, and he was still going, you know. So things like that for me is like, man, a lot of these people feel like just because you like a fighter means you can't be real about what they're doing, and that ain't the case. Sometimes you do got to be real about it.
Agreed, man. Agreed. What a soliloquy. Let me ask your opinion on something, man, if you don't mind.
Yeah, for sure.
Pull Out Bandit said, did y'all discuss Turkey sending out false info to hype the Canelo Bud Netflix event? Did you see? You remember, yes, the day before yesterday. Phenomenal show when we talked about it. Said he'll believe it when he sees it that fight is at Allegiant Stadium on September 13th or 12th.
And then they came out and changed it.
And it came out and changed it. Even though they claimed that damn near all the tickets were sold for that day.
Exactly. That's the thing that got me. How you gonna say all the tickets are sold out when you don't even know where the fight gonna be at or what day now? And then Turkey came out and said, "Oh, whenever whenever I feel like it, I'll go ahead and announce the date, time, and location for the event." He just tweeted that out about 20 hours ago. So it's like, what was y'all talking about? What tickets were y'all saying sold out?
Say that again.
So I'm like, yeah, what tickets are they saying is sold out when that's the case?
Well, the only way that they can do that is they can buy all the tickets themselves, put the tickets on the secondary ticket market, but they already bought all the tickets themselves, so they can start selling the tickets, right? And they'll sell the tickets for the event even before the venue and all that stuff is announced, because they've already bought all the tickets themselves, so they can claim it as a sellout. That's the only reason that would happen, because it was on StubHub. It's not like they're just lying and saying it didn't say it on the internet that it was almost sold out. It did say it was almost sold out on StubHub. Then magically the seat layout disappears on StubHub and it says seat layout to come later, even though they're still selling tickets. Like, so come on, man. You're just conning people. That's all it is. And Bandit, that's once again, it's the same thing as when they said what a fight did they say was announced? Canelo versus Jake Paul was a done deal or some shit. Turkey.
Yep. That was the same one.
And then he comes out and says, "Oh, I just said that for the press. I just said it, to make you think this." So now you got people. When the tickets go on sale. When exactly can we believe that the event is going to be where it says it's going to be? Like, at what point in time, if you can't trust StubHub, if they will use StubHub as a tool for propaganda, then fuck, they're not going to use anything as a tool for propaganda. It's crazy.
They have no shame. None.
Man,
I
Go ahead.
swear, like unless I hear one of the other promoters involved in the event come out and say something, I ain't believing it. That was why we found out that the tickets for this last event wasn't open to the public because Eddie Hearn came out and said it. About 3 weeks before the fight.
Yeah, and then it had, even though it had been out before that. So basically, you got Turki Al-Sheikh playing around with Gervonta Davis's venues. I wonder if they're waiting to see when Gervonta Davis announces his fight, so they can try to find some way to compete for the venue with him. I wouldn't be surprised at all, man. This guy is a snake, man. This guy is a full
Man,
fledged. This guy's a full fledged snake, man. There's just, I mean, I'm not even going to talk about the YouTube channels because look, the YouTube channel that put it out was telling the truth. That's what it said on Box. That's what it said on StubHub. So I can't say that man lied, but still, we knew it wasn't true.
yep.
It winds up not being true 2 days later. That shit's, I'm telling you, the shit is amazing, bro. Even when they tell the truth, they're lying. Like, it's amazing. Like, I just can't get my head around. I can get my head around it. They spend so much money on propaganda that they would waste whatever money necessary to get those tickets put up on StubHub. They would waste that money, whatever it cost them to get those tickets put up on StubHub and to put those tickets out and then to switch the date of the event. Because StubHub, how do you do that? How do you even get the date and get the tickets on StubHub to begin with if you've not agreed to when the fight is going to be? It calls into question to the extent to which these people are able to spread misinformation. It's already bad enough that if you go to BoxRec, who's supposed to be the official record keeper in boxing, and you don't see any records for the WBA in any of the championships that have ever been fought by the WBA. It is just so much bullshit that this guy is trying to pull over people's eyes with the money that he has to spend. It's amazing to me. That's what I got to say, Pull Out Bandit, because again, Blue Blood Sports TV does not have the ability to get those tickets put on StubHub and have it listed as almost sold out. Somebody else had to have contacted StubHub and offered the tickets for sale and then bought all the tickets. It's the only way that it could happen. And then Turki Al-Sheikh says, oh, no, because who knows what happened. Canelo Alvarez might have seen this. Like, hold on, man, you're already selling tickets? I didn't agree to any fight on Allegiant Stadium. Now they got to pull it back. It's just to understand understand the workings that needed to take place for that to happen. To me, it's very high level. And they said they sold the tickets. When I was trying to buy, I didn't try to buy tickets. I just went through it. There was like one available in each section. The rest was all blued out, all sold out. It's got to be a scam. It's got to be a scam because I didn't even hear that the fight was even formally announced, but yet they had already sold out the tickets that eventually were obviously not sold because the fight hasn't been agreed to yet. And Canelo hasn't agreed to a fight because you can't agree to a fight until you get that date and you get the venue. You have to agree to all of that shit before you agree to a fight. So Canelo hasn't even agreed to the fight, but yet you started selling tickets.
And I'm thinking because they look at Canelo and Skull, they probably looking at that as the official announcement. So you remember they had that dude pull out that belt to go ahead and give it to Canelo, and then he pulled Bud up there and had them do their first official face-off for the fight is what they called that. The first official face-off, and that was when he originally announced that it would be on Friday, September 12th. I'm just like, why are they doing this on a Friday? And what the hell? But then now it's changing, so it's like,
And you saw the look on Canelo's face when he said it.
Yep.
His face was like, what the fuck is this?
Yeah, because Mexican Independence Day, that's that weekend. It's supposed to be September 17th, and that's the closest weekend to it. So, that's probably what they was trying to run with. Yeah, that's usually the dates that Canelo fights, Cinco de Mayo and Mexican Independence Day weekend.
So, yeah, man, I have no idea how you can trust anything coming from these people. Also, you have to remember Matt from Brunch Boxing had reported that there were fighters that didn't get paid from that Beterbiev card.
Yeah.
You have your favorite fighter in the world, Shakur Stevenson, saying that Turki Al-Sheikh went back on the money that was offered to him. Even though you believe that Turki Al-Sheikh bitched him, let's agree that there was at least some
Yeah,
drama going on
yeah.
there. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? I ain't trying to dip back into that argument. But you know,
Yeah, yeah. But I feel you though, because it's like, man, there's too many inconsistencies for like, especially with this, because it's like, man, the fact that like, think about this. What about regular people who was trying to buy tickets and thought that was good at that point, right? And it's like, okay, they bought the tickets, they probably booked the hotel. Now they're talking about they don't know if it's going to be in L.A. and New York or Las Vegas. Like what? They're talking about three different states. So it's like, man, isn't there some type of weird like false advertisement thing that could go on with that?
with the oh hell yeah, they can ask for they should be able to ask for a refund. But again, nobody bought tickets. Let's be real. Nobody bought tickets. The only people getting refund is Turkey. You know what I'm saying? Turkey's going to get a refund from Turkey's self because we already know that game. That's what they used to do in the UK. They would take as soon as that's how they would say, "Oh, the fight sold out in 5 minutes," because they would take all the tickets off immediately and put them back for resale on secondary ticket market. All they did is put the sales for sale in the secondary ticket market before they put them on the primary ticket market, which is even more fucking shady, just shady as fuck all the way around. So, but again, as far as anybody getting money back, is only person going to get money back is
Mhm.
Turkey, because Turkey's the one that probably bought it from beginning, just to say, oh, it's going to be a sellout this one. You know what I'm saying? Maybe he
Best
didn't
of luck
feel like
for
maybe he didn't feel like doing that for Devin Haney, for Ryan Garcia and Rolly Romero, and Devin versus Ramirez and Tio, because but instead of doing that, he just made it a private event because he doesn't have to worry that way. He doesn't have to worry about actually selling tickets, and he can wind up giving a ton of them away. But now he's got to move all those sold tickets to another date. Watch. As soon as that fucking date is announced, all those tickets are going to disappear the same way they disappeared the first time. You're just going to see a replay. I'm telling you, man, Turki Al-Sheikh is fake as fuck. I don't believe in it. I don't believe shit about the guy.
I never believed it from the get go, especially when his number one cheerleader was talking about he will spare no expense. Like man, that's just so crazy because
Oh my God, the Claymore Rain. He will spare no expense, but yet had never even made an offer to Gervonta. Never said he
yeah,
was going to make at the time. Had never even said he was making an offer to Gervonta. Just
yeah,
making shit up as they go, man.
and I'm like man, like the craziest thing is it would have made sense for him to try to do this with the last card he did, especially when they got Tiafimo, Devin, and Ryan. But at the same time, it's like see in hindsight, looking at it, nah. And then for me, it makes me wonder, okay, what's this undercard going to look like? Because people wanting Bud and Canelo to fight ain't as much as people think it is, you know? Because everybody knows that the one person that wanted to see Canelo fight was David Benavidez. And then, like, being real, I honestly don't feel like anybody care about seeing Bud fight anybody except Boots. But besides Boots, I don't think anybody care about seeing Bud fight for real, for real. Because, he ain't never really been like a big name. Yeah, he got accomplishments, but it's not like he was somebody that you see hordes of people coming out to see. People dropping everything they're doing, like, oh man, this is must see TV. Like, nah, I never really seen Bud that way. And again, his biggest fight so far has been his fight with Spence. By himself, he ain't really doing that much. So, the fact that this is two fights that two people where they're in a fight that nobody is really asking for except them. And then according to Bud, Bill Haney, you know, I really don't see it. I just hope we don't follow Bill's advice too much and end up getting paid in net profit because then that'll be bad. It shouldn't.
Ooh, that net profit.
I know, especially since he behaved the way he did about Al Heyman, you know. So for me looking at it, even if they got a decent undercard, I still don't have high hopes for this card. Like as far as it being a success or anything. I mean, Canelo's good because he signed his deal. He can do that. So he probably don't care either way. He's like, man, let me just get these 4 fights out the way and go back to do with me. You know what I mean? But for
Yes, sir.
Bud, it's his last time to shine. Like it's funny. It's funny that all these guys that are basically like the kings of the quote unquote B sides of boxing. They're pretty much in a spot where their career is on the last leg, where it's like they basically at the last time to shine. Like if Bud gets smacked by Canelo, ain't nobody gonna care about him no more. If Devin come back and get smacked by Ryan or Rolly, nobody's gonna care about him anymore. If anything weird happened with that Shakur and Zepeda fight, nobody gonna care about him anymore. And it's crazy how all of them talk themselves into this hole. Like, shoot, Tiafimo, he already gone. Big waste for all the talent he had. He couldn't keep his mouth shut. Couldn't keep his mouth shut, and never got a chance to headline a pay per view. So look at him now. And then we got who else is on that list? Ryan Garcia. He's done. I think. Like apart from smacking Devin Haney and getting his confidence back, there ain't really much else left for Ryan. You know, uh, at least unless he just fights somebody who can't take his left hook away. But you know, who's going to sign up for that whooping? Like that, and it's crazy. Out of all these fights that have happened this past couple of months, like the biggest winners so far have been Gervonta Davis and Rolly Romero, PBC fighters. So it's almost like the universe is trying to like force people to understand, like, hey, Al Heyman is the one who's really doing something with his fighters. Look at what all's happening. Stop believing Turkey. Stop believing all this nonsense. Stop believing all this hype that they talking about 20 billion impressions and all this other stuff they doing. Like, pay attention. And then we got another PBC card coming up on the 31st here in a couple weeks. Man, I can't wait for that one. Can't wait for
Who's
that
that,
one.
Jamal?
Yeah, the Charlo and the Plant card. Charlo's fighting was like Resendez or something, and then not Charlo, the Plant is, and then Charlo making this comeback too.
Yeah, let me get that. Oh man, I can't wait to see Jamal back. 30-0 with 22 knockouts.
Yeah,
He's fighting Thomas Lamana. And the only fights they have announced on that card are those two fights. So I don't know what the undercard is. But Caleb Plant versus Resendez and Charlo versus Lamana. That's who it
yeah,
is.
and Charlo and Plant, they always come to entertain. So I ain't even worried about that because we already know that if they stepping in the ring, it's gonna be a fight. We know that it ain't gonna be no running, and then they don't gonna have to worry about the referee saying, "Hey man, y'all got to throw some punches now." I don't remember the last time I seen a ref had to tell people that. Just see, that's funny because for as much running as they say Floyd does, for as much they say he don't engage, I ain't never heard no referee tell Floyd he had to start throwing punches. Hmm, isn't that something?
Yes.
Well, all right, man. I got a meeting to run to, but I go ahead catch up with you later.
All right, brother. Get back with you, man. Get back, sir.
Take it easy.
All right, man. Man, we got through that with very little Shakur Stevenson hate. I was impressed, bro. Very, very, very impressed about how we missed out on that. I was trying to do something in the meantime. You guys got to forgive me, please. Sorry about that. Um, Jamal has the best jab in boxing, period. Yeah, he does. Look, man, I am excited about seeing him back, man. And I like the entire PBC crew, man. I know some of y'all hating dudes who are probably not gonna be allowed to say anything. Hate on me because I'm a big fan of the PBC, but I am. I think Jermell Charlo being back and Jamal Charlo being back. Jamal Charlo and Jermell Charlo do not even have to fight for a title at 168 pounds. But yet, bro, that's going to be a better fight and a more interesting fight than a lot of those fights that took place on that fake ass Turkey card with those fake ass numbers. Now, let me tell you again, bro, you should not trust anything that Turki Al-Sheikh says. You should not trust his money. You should not trust what he says. You should not trust his money. You should get as far away from that dude as you possibly can. That is at least my humble opinion after having watched everything going on. The amount of dishonesty pouring out of that organization or that group of people is so astounding that it should put everybody back on their heels. It should say, my God, I can't even trust tickets on StubHub. You have to go pretty far for me not to trust the tickets you're selling on StubHub. Be very clear. I don't trust the tickets that this guy sells on StubHub. If the next time I see this fight, if I did feel like buying this fight, okay, you better believe the next time I am going to wait until that fight is absolutely announced and they're shaking hands. They got the belts in between them, and there's a big sign saying Fatal Fury, Canelo Alvarez versus Terence Crawford. Because how do I know that Turki Al-Sheikh is not going to fail to pay and put some money in escrow? Because isn't that what he didn't do for Rolly Romero? Since Rolly Romero negotiated a deal with him that involved escrow, I have to believe that Canelo Alvarez has probably struck a deal with him also that involves putting his money in escrow. But that fight was not officially announced, but yet they're already selling tickets to a fight that Canelo Alvarez has not formally agreed to. How shady is that if you're Canelo? Say, hold on, how many tickets did you already sell to this event? I've not even agreed to the event. And you've already sold all these tickets? Where are these tickets? Who bought all these tickets? That's what I would ask if I was Canelo. Why are you announcing fights before I agree to them? You made me face off in this ring like the fight is officially next, but I didn't officially agree to it because there's no official date. There's no official fight. I mean, venue. There's no official city is going to be in. No official date, no official venue. And we've not agreed. But yet you have a face-off already, and you're already selling tickets. Come on, man. Come on. What are you supposed to expect? But I guarantee you this. They had a meeting, a press conference, and I saw the press conference. I saw it. Oh, hold on. All right, cool. I know what it was. I was like tripping. I got a message. Let's move them likes up. Y'all getting subscribed to the channel, hit them. Yeah, please do. But for real, thank you to everybody today that donated in the Cash App. Thank you very much. The money is for a specific purpose. So thank you. I would like to say, talk to Jamison Childress for a second, because I don't think I talked about his stuff long enough. Man, Jamison, I'm very, very happy for you. Please give me a call before your fourth interview if you want to just talk about strategy for your interview, for your fourth interview. I can't believe that it's going to be much different than the last one. They're probably just going to go over the details and go over the details of, what your work would be. If you get to a fourth round of interviews, man, I think that's saying something tremendous about you. And congratulations. And that means you're a very viable candidate for these guys. Salute. So applause to Jamison Childress, for real. But all y'all, okay, that's for real. Yeah, make sure you give me a call this week, man, before that next phenomenal show. Hey, Jamison Childress, can you come on? Hey, Phenomenal Noob, I need to get your number. Can you click the link for a second so that I can get or can you email me? And I'll email you Jamison Childress's number. Let me, matter of fact, hold on. Let me see if I have it. All right, I don't have your email, man. Here's my email. Phenomenal show. Send me an email. All right. Oh, I got his number, Noob. We talk. I'll send you mine too. Okay, cool. Yeah, send me that email, man. Cause you can get my number from Jameson Childress, and that way you can send me an email. Because I passed through Houston not too long ago. So I think that would be a cool conversation to have, man. I really do. If I go see if I pass by. Man, Sean in the building, man. Much love in that Cash App. He said, peace and blessings, Fanon. Thank you, brother, for the $5 holler. That means a tremendous, tremendous, tremendous amount, bro. Thank you so much. Anyway, but look, I'm going to get up out of here. Y'all have a wonderful, wonderful day. Peace and blessings to you guys. Have a grand rising tomorrow and come back to the show. Please check out my videos that I do later on today. And with that, I'm out. Deuces.